The Outer Worlds is all about freedom of choice. There are so many ways to build your character and different outcomes in Quest to Encounter, that even if you mess up and things go wrong, you'll probably still get a satisfying result. But that said, there are some basic things we recommend you do to get the best experience possible in the Outer Worlds. Enhance your leadership. Of all the skills you can put points into, an easy one to overlook is leadership, which is actually very important. Leadership gives a nice boost to companions in combat, a bonus that's especially useful on higher difficulties. But even more critical is the companion's combat abilities, which don't unlock until you invest 20 points into leadership. These abilities are handy in combat and pretty fun to watch. Want to see Felix do a sick drop kick on an unsuspecting bandit? Leadership is your way of unlocking his potential, so make sure you maximize leadership for some of that much needed combat flair. Put points into Dialog to be the most charismatic or dishonest spacefarer. Where the Outer Worlds truly shines is in its witty conversation options, so to better experience everything it has to offer, we suggest putting points into the Dialog skill to unlock more responses. Aside from the perk of being genuinely hilarious, Dialog skills can also net you extra cash when bargaining for quest rewards and can help you learn more about your companion characters. Having the option for more responses is always lovely, and you're given plenty of points that let you spec high into Dialog while still being a monster in most combat situations. Prioritize tech for useful bonuses. If you're looking for a useful skill to spec into, then the tech skill is well worth it for its engineering branch alone. A handy early unlock is the ability to repair weapons and armor in your inventory, which is much better than having to go back to a workbench to fix stuff. And later on in the branch, you also get unlocks that increase your chances of extracting mods upon breaking down your gear. If this sounds like your cup of tea, then the tech skills engineering might be for you. Respec. Find out what it means to you. If you ever regret your skill point distribution or perk selection, remember that you can reset them in your ship, the Unreliable. Keep in mind that you can only reset your skill points and not your character altogether, so you still need to make sure you think carefully about how you want to shape your character's progression at the beginning of the game. Respecking also costs money, which goes up each time, so make sure to create a backup save before you do so to protect yourself from wasting your hard-earned cash. Use companions to fill out your weaknesses. When picking companions, you might choose them for their combat skills or their intriguing narrative backgrounds. While these are good reasons, you may also want to consider selecting your companion to balance out your weaker skills. Each companion has 3 skills they're proficient in, and having them in your party will boost that skill for you. For example, if you created a character who's weak in hacking, you can strategically choose to bring Vicar Max or Sam along to boost your hacking skills. It's also possible to stack their skills, as bringing them both can give you an even more substantial boost to hacking. If you're not already thinking this way, then we highly recommend making it a part of your decision-making process. Start on normal and then maybe switch to hard. And maybe then back to normal. In our experience, the Outer Worlds default difficulty can be pretty easy for the average player, and combat becomes rather trivial later on. However, the jump from normal to hard can be jarring, and you might find yourself in trouble early on. Thankfully, you can change the difficulty anytime you want. Our best advice is to start on normal to help yourself get used to the game and how it works, and then switch over to hard once you feel it's getting too easy. But there's no shame in switching back, as things get pretty tough on hard during the first 5 to 10 hours. Contrary to popular belief, melee isn't for chumps. Don't underestimate the power of melee weapons. While guns are good, a strong melee weapon can help you clear out basic enemies in short order without sacrificing ammo. And for the tougher encounters, it can be vital to have enough supplies to come out mostly unscathed. So why not knock out the weaker foes with a well-placed swing with your melee weapon? We also suggest putting some points into melee, as the higher unlocks can drastically increase your attack power, as well as your ability to stun or knock down enemies. The Master of Lockpicking. When you're strapped for supplies, sometimes the best way to stock up is to rob them from locked chests and storage containers. It should go without saying, but we recommend putting points into lockpicking, as you never know when you'll need to break into a locked crate or save for some much needed supplies. Lockpicking proficiency comes recommended even if your companions have it, because you're likely to encounter a locked chest that even you can't get into alone. Turn all the cool things off and on in the options menu. Check the settings menu to customize your experience. The Outer Worlds has a bunch of neat options in the settings menu you can tweak to better cater to your most optimal experience. You can turn on companion outlines if you find yourself losing track of them in combat. You can turn off dialogue skill checks and conversations if you'd rather not see it. You can remove showing off player and companion helmets if you want to see their pretty faces all the time. And if you're interested in a more cinematic experience, you can even set conversation subtitles to minimal, so it only shows the last line of dialogue said right before the player dialogue is displayed. If you really want, you can turn off the whole HUD even, but honestly, we wouldn't recommend that. Information like health, companion ability cooldowns, and the crosshair are all pretty necessary to have. However, don't let us rain on your parade. The choice is up to you. If you're interested in more information on the Outer Worlds, go to GameSpot.com to check out our guide, such as one detailing the best perks. Thanks for watching and have a great time in the Outer Worlds.